Joining us live from the summit venue in Abuja is our correspondent, Sumayya Abubakar. Good morning, Sumayya. Right, so day one is down. We're now on day two. So far, what has been the highlight of the summit?
What I will tell you in terms of, the economic transformation and reforms, there's been a lot of conversations. So one that takes our interest is the agriculture, which happened earlier. Now, of course, these reforms is all about catalyzing agricultural transformation. That's about capital, innovation, and growth. And of course, there was in attendance policymakers because we had the Minister of Agriculture and Food Security who joined that conversation. Conversation was had on this. Now, according to what was discussed, it says that in Nigeria, only 5% of credit is given when it comes to the GDP to agriculture. But then when we look at countries like Brazil, which Nigeria looks up to in terms of food production, they get about 40% credit. So that was another major concern, saying that Nigeria, that is known to be an agro nation, is facing this major and massive decline. So according to them, according to some of them, and some agro investors and consultants, they said that there are key issues that are the problem in terms of agricultural growth. That is about financing, saying that there is lack of availability, lack of accessibility, and also suitability. They talked about infrastructure deficit, which was a major concern about this. One of them was the fact that the insecurity has been, taking farmers out of their land in the first place. And even though we had a bit of back and forth on that one, when someone, that would be CEO of the Sterling Bank saying, just because we have a massive land and other, or we don't have enough of hold on that in terms of security, and not still do enough. And he emphasized that even if we have the littlest land, we just need to have more production, and that would help the country. So if insecurity is part of it, there's also another source of concern, which is roads. And a farmer said that when he's farming in states like Benue, the cost of transportation is much more affordable than when he's farming in Cross River because the roads are really bad and dilapidated. Talking about, of course, another major issue in terms of, growth, which would be, of course, that would be power. There's also another major concern about that. Now there's also talk about knowledge gap, saying that even the people that are into this business, they don't really know where to go and look for this financing, what would be the best and suitable, infrastructure and even support in terms of growing their business. So that's another a massive conversation. And there was a talk about the lending, the investment. A lot of people brought up their concern that they don't have investors. But then the investors say that when you borrow, when you take a loan from a bank and you pay from one bank, then the next time the two banks will come looking for you. You wouldn't even have to go look for them because that is the major issue. People are not able to pay back, as the farmers are not able to pay back their loans. And for the farmers' argument, they say that because of, especially one of the major decisions and policies that the government did, which was to open the border and import some level of grain, which is the maize, it has, from the government side, it has dropped the prices of food in the market. I'm sure, Joanna, you can agree with me on that one. But then the farmers are saying they're suffering because the cost of producing is way higher than the cost of maize in the market. So I will tell you, it was a robust conversation on, the agro business in Nigeria and the way forward.
Of course, so much more needs to be done, and as you have highlighted in the area of financing. Just to take you back a bit, we know yesterday the Vice President gave, a speech that a lot of people have been talking about. What has been the conversation around his speech from yesterday? What have been the highlights from that speech?
I will tell you the highlights. The Vice President spoke about a lot of things. I would say he spoke about the progress of the country so far in terms of the GDP. He's saying that he said the policies and reform that was made was difficult on Nigerians, but so far they have started yielding great results. But the highlight would be his closing remarks, which he spoke about the feud between the Dangote refinery and also the Pangatan and the Pen. And it brought a lot of reactions. We even had aside, the Minister of Budget and Economic Policy talking about that. We also had another reaction from the Emir of Kano, on that one. And they were both in consensus agreement so that when we pay our own local, investors, then of course it does not look good for the country, for foreign investors to come in. And there is a major concern right now that Nigeria, no matter how much the federal government we've seen the effort for bilateral and multilateral agreements and relationships, we are still finding it difficult to get a foreign direct investment into the country. So he is saying that investors, you don't even need to go and look for them. They watch and they know when to invest. If your country is doing great, then and they see potential in it, they will come and invest. So how we treat our very own will be how the world will see us. So based on the conversations that we did two players in Nigeria and also people around, there seems to be a large number swaying over that and saying there could be a more fertile and appreciative approach to people that are investing in our country. So that would be the highlight. If on the vice president's speech that he made.
Indeed, spot on. Obviously, it's day 2. We're in the middle of day 2. What can we expect going forward? There's still one more day of the summit to go, and there's still, I assume, some more panel sessions for today. Give us a picture of what to expect, and as well, any difference in terms of turnout from today and yesterday?
I would say that I'm surprised. We were expecting, of course, day 2 should be less people, but no. The turnout seems to be, I would say, on the same levels because, this morning it started with panel of different rooms, and each room that we went through, it was massive. It was fully packed. Everybody is interested in the growth of, not only the nation, but you as an individual, because when you come alone or collective in groups, then the country and the nation grow. So the turnout is so massive. People are hopeful that Nigeria has the potential and it will be great. And in terms of expectations of what to expect, I would tell you, Joanna, that there is a lot to expect. Like I said, we had 7 panels in the morning, and we're expecting another one just later. There's also one ongoing in the conference center now. So conversation is concentrating on a lot of the sectors in Nigeria, but at the end of the day, it all boils down to how the Nigerian economy would go in terms of GDP and achieving it by the year of 2030. So I would tell you that there will be a lot. I can't really pinpoint what to expect, but a lot of robust conversation. And I will say that based on the people, the caliber of people that we've had here, that are really proven that Nigerians are one smart people that know what is going on in their country and how to solve it. But the one question just remains is, all of these reforms, how sustainable are they? Will, another government that comes in, pick up from where this stops? That is the major concern. So the consensus is pushing on saying that we have to continue, this, reforms, and it should not just stop on the discussion here, but there should be a progress. And I remember I asked the minister, that's a chief of budget and economic reforms, rather. And I asked him that a lot of people are saying concerned that last year's, NES did not really yield good results. But he disagreed with that. He said, no, there might be a bit of flaw on how they carried it out, but then there's a lot of growth and a profit to expect more, from this one to be shared, that the progress will be shared on the next NES. So basically, a lot of conversation is still unraveling, and of course, we'll keep you up to date.
All right, Sumayya Abubakar, our correspondent on the ground at the Nigerian Economic Summit group in Abuja, Summit in Abuja. Thank you for your time.